Now we're joined by head coach Phil Neville. If you have a question on the call, please raise your hand. We're going to get started with Mike DiPasquale. Oh, no, we'll go started with Phil Neville.
Yeah, let's keep up the good. So, evening, guys. Let's keep this quick. I want to get home to my babies. I thought in terms of probably one of our poorest performances, I've got to say, in terms of the quality of our passing, I thought was frustrating. For large parts of the game, we didn't get any rhythm, no consecutive passes. But a sign of a good team is when you win and you play poorly. When you score late goals, it's another good sign. The spirit in the dressing room is fantastic. We're having players that have not had many games come in and make real impacts, like Brek Shea tonight. And I'm really, really pleased. We knew that this was going to be this type of performance. We give them 3 days off last week after the Orlando game. It was a point in the season where they hit a little bit of brick wall physically. The 3 days off means you lose a little bit of rhythm, but the 3 days off means that in 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, you're even fitter and fresher. So we've got a really big week coming up in terms of Columbus, Toronto, and Red Bulls in terms of energy. We took a risk by giving them the 3 days off, but the risk came off tonight, and we're going to see even more benefits next Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. So the players keep fighting hard. The spirit and togetherness is really good. We're keeping clean sheets. We're working really hard for each other. We're defending well from the front. Gonzalo and the two front players are working really hard. And the momentum and the confidence keeps going. And we've just got to keep going. And we're having big performances from everybody.
We're going to go to questions now. Start with Mike DiPasquale, then Michelle Kaufman. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, Rafa. Good evening, Phil. Based on everything that you said, you had mentioned before coming into tonight's game, you have to start winning on the road to make this push to get that final playoff spot. I understand you're not totally happy, but you get the win, you get the 3 points. This momentum, does it carry now? Because the boys have been playing well.
It does. It does. Winning away from home in this league, as I've experienced, is really difficult. It's you're up against the away crowd, the travel, the different conditions, good teams that want to play well in front of their own team and their own supporters. And to get 3 points on the road is really good. We've got 4 out of the last two games away from home, which I think is a really good return. But we just said then we're just going to take each game as it comes. We're not thinking about winning. We're not thinking about playoffs. We're thinking about the next game, performance levels, attitude, behaviours. And if we keep those behaviours, we're going to have a really good season. And there's still a long way to go. We've got our feet firmly planted on the floor. But confidence breeds belief. And that's what's happened. That's what's happened. And when you get on that roll, you just want the next game to come as quick as possible.
We'll go to Michelle Kaufman, then Andres Cordero. Go ahead, Michelle.
All right. Hey, Phil, congratulations. I want to ask you, in the 90th minute, right, when the clock struck 90 and it was still scoreless, did you think that you were going to go home with a draw? And what is the difference between a draw, between the 1 point and the 3 points? And just, I want you to kind of walk us through that last minute when Brek scored.
Yeah.
What were you thinking and feeling from your position?
Well, I think if you saw me, I didn't even celebrate. Because I think I was so focused on how massive the 3 points were. I was thinking about what do we need to do next? We need to get Carranza on, Gonzalo off to get some more energy on, close out the game. I think what the 3 points gives you, rather than the point, is that when you have like the 3 games we have next week, it gives you space. It gives you space and not pressure to try and win every single game. We will obviously try and win every game, but if we'd have drawn tonight, the Columbus game would have become even bigger. And ultimately every game's a big game, but what it does, it gives you more momentum. A draw against Orlando, we came away disappointed. A draw today, I think we would have been absolutely even more disappointed. So I think what the win does, the 3 points is massive. Columbus have lost tonight away at Orlando, I think. And the 3 points is another sign. It's another signal. It's another little notch on our on our wall that this team never knows when it's beat, never knows when to give up, never knows when to stop trying to win the game of football. And we said at half-time, the technical staff, we've got to be brave to try and win this game. The substitution to put, we brought Robbie up front. We wanted 2 players up front. We changed the system and brought Victor on, played Lewis wider in his wing-back role. Was a decision to try and win the game. And we did.
Andrés Cordero and then Franco Panizo.
Hey, Phil, congrats on the win. Back-to-back clean sheets, this time with all 3 points. It's a team that maybe early in the season was leaking goals and suddenly is much, much more defensively solid. What's been the big improvement there?
The 3 centre-backs, I think, have been sensational. We just said in there, I think one coach said, McCoon's playing really well. Another coach said, Figal's playing really well as well. And I said, Leandro's playing as well as he ever done. All 3, plus the goalkeeper, are controlling the games of football for us. Sometimes you can control games of football with and without the ball, and them 3 are doing it really, really well. They're giving us the platform, the foundations to look like a really good team. And I've got to say that the 3 of them, you can't separate them. If you tell me who's been playing the best, I'd say that all 3 of them have been really, really sensational. And I think they've been the best players over the last month in terms of the catalyst to us to go on this run.
Franco, and then last question, Jose. Go ahead, Franco.
Thanks, Rafa. Hey, Phil, congrats on the win. I'm sure that this is probably turning your hairs a little grayer, though, given that they keep coming so late. You touched on this a little bit earlier, so just to expand on it. You said it's one of the worst performances you guys have had. Obviously, a lot of passes went astray. What went into that? Was that Cincinnati making it difficult for you guys? Was that you guys just not being accurate and precise on the day? And to follow up on that is, you guys kept pushing though, even late. The goal comes with you guys pinning them deep in their own half. Obviously, Nico hits a great diagonal ball, and Breck makes a well-timed run to finish. So, what does it say about you that even in this game where you didn't play that well, you kept pushing, you kept showing that will to win on the road and getting it at the end? Thanks, Phil.
Well, look, I think we expected it. It's like when you have 3 days off work. You don't want to go back in on that 4th day. You want an extra day. I think that's what happens. You come down, the pressures, we allow them to switch off mentally for 3 days. So it takes time to get back up to speed. And what happens is you come into a game and it's faster. It's faster and maybe a little bit of rustiness from everybody. Come single out one player that didn't have any kind of rustiness. But we expected it because we planned for it, and we just knew that this was a game where beforehand, we had to rest the players. After the Orlando game, they were shot to pieces in terms of physically. They needed to break, and we knew that next week with the 4 games in 11 days, we need everyone fresh, and they pulled through us. They pulled through. Gonzalo hadn't trained 7 days. He's had a laceration on his toenail, so he's only trained 2 days. So he's had 5, 6, 7 days off. So we had to take risks. We knew we weren't going to get probably the rhythm that we wanted, even though I expected it, and I do expect better. But the qualities of winning away from home, as we've said all along, are probably not playing beautiful football at times, are digging it out, fighting, togetherness. And at the end, when you've got your left back, your left wing back high up the pitch and running in behind, it shows the determination of the players to try and win the game. That does come from me, but ultimately they're driving it themselves. They knew it was a big 3 points for us, and they got the win, and I'm super proud of their attitude.
Last question, Jose.
Thank you, Rafa. Phil, I want to go back a little bit to the center backs. It looks like, at least tonight early on in the game and throughout most of it, McCoon and Leandro Gonzalez-Pires, they got a lot of touches on the attacking part of the field, and in the end, Figal gets the assist. Is this by design, and how much confidence do you have in these 3 players with the ball, knowing that a bad giveaway from them will essentially give a counterattack opportunity to the other team? Thank you.
Well, I think what they've given us a great foundation, because what happens is we go and attack, and when we lose the ball, we've still got 3 plus 1 in midfield as real security, which means that we can control games and sustain attacks. It's more the control, really. It's more the control that they've given us in terms of finding the extra player, dominating possession a lot more, and just their composure on the ball. You rewind back 3 months to Christian McCoon's performance 3 months ago until now. And that's come through hard work. That's come through taking him to places that he's probably never been physically, mentally, tactically, technically, and pushing him as hard as he's probably ever been pushed physically. And now he's playing at a level where he's looking like a real top player. Yeah, in this system, I think suits him as well. And we're really pleased with the back three. The keeper is really giving us confidence as well. But the system itself has been a real game changer for us, and we just need to keep the momentum. We just need to keep our feet on the floor. We just need to keep the next one is Columbus. We can't look for Toronto or Red Bulls or Nashville. The next one is Columbus, and that's the only way to play football. The clock's ticking now. We're on the final straight of games from now to the end of the season where you only look to the next game, because the minute that you look beyond that, you'll lose the game that comes next. And we've got a team that's full of confidence. We've got a team that's together. And we've got a team probably that 3 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, this time last year, wouldn't have won this game. And that's how far we've come.
Thank you, Phil.